Hi Cancer, how's it going? Let's see how your previous week treated you so that we can understand how to look at this coming week and get you guys set up the best way that we can with understanding what's coming. This is for Cancer for the week of September 9th through 15th. Cancer for the week of September 9th. Oh, well, technically, sorry. This is for the week of, that was before it. Prior energies for Cancer. Let's take a look at that. Prior energies for what Cancer has been dealing with in the previous week. Structure, aligning your needs and your boundaries and the things that you need to be a certain way. Phenomenon. Boy, this card is coming up for everybody. It's crazy. And the underworld. Interesting. Interesting. So let's just take a look at kind of what the tarot is saying about how your previous week was. Eight of Wands in reverse, Death, and the Lovers. Interesting. This is the Lovers card in this deck. There's two of them. This one is the one that deals with like an agreement to be involved with somebody. Whereas the other one's more about lust and romance. It really feels like things really just like changing on their own. And possibly you yourself going in deeply into what it is that you know things need to be within your shadow experiences and sensing what it is that you want and need. And really kind of making abrupt changes. But for some of you, being told by somebody that something has to go a certain way. Yeah, so that it seems like you possibly do have this relationship that you have created within the past week, but that you also have this other individual that kind of made abrupt changes for you, or another situation in your life that has kind of been thrown off kilter and gone through kind of like a messy, weird disrupt, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're like, you know what, it's fine, like this is really what I need right now anyway. And that's what that structured card feels like, and this relationship is. I think that it was a bit, you know, muggy in there for a little while, but that you kind of reduced yourself back into what matters the most for you. So we do have a little bit of a deep dive going on in the previous week. Let's take a look at some of the three-dimensional circumstances that might come up in this coming week, some of the inevitable energies, and then I'm going to pull some cards on how to rise above that to see what your highest potential is that you can manifest and how that's done. So let's take a look at some of the energies that Cancer might run into for the week of September 9th through 15th. Resistance. Wow, we're starting off quite the beginning here. Evolution and air. That's awesome. I mean, we do have some ground being made here at the beginning, but I think there's going to be a lot of like outside of the box involvement required of you in order to make some adjustments, and some maybe leaving it up to just the wind to take it on its due course. And then we do end with connection here. That's great. Let's take a look at what the tarot is that's aligning with this. This is for Cancer within the week of September 9th through 15th. Three-dimensional circumstances and inevitable energies. We start out with the Devil in reverse here. And this is this deck also has two devils. And this is the Temptation card, and the other one is about material gain. But this is about like an individual often, or like a habit. So yeah, it's definitely starting out with well, and to me, the Devil card deals with trying to, in reverse especially, trying to separate from the expectations of this one individual and trying to step out of that codependent situation, but like there's like expectations involved that bound you there, that just are bounding you there, and that you have to care about the logic that's coming forward and having to deal with the rules and the restrictions that are being applied by the scenario. But let's take a look here, because at the evolution you have the High Priestess come in and you have the Eight of Cups, and that's where I think you kind of just get a little bit of silence going on, whether or not it actually means that that person has left your life or you don't have to be involved with those expectations any longer. But at the very least, you find a way to find some silence and come back into just any type of reconnection within yourself that you've been needing in order to figure out what it is that you're trying to do here. Three of Pentacles in reverse, and we got the Empress in reverse with the Three of Pentacles in reverse on the Air card here. Yeah, you know, I think you're really done with certain aspects. Let's just go forward for a moment so that I can reflect on this in a moment. How does Cancer end their week? Six of Wands in reverse and the Moon in reverse here, guys. But it's all on top of the Connection card. I think that what you're going through right now is supposed to show you the areas of your life that are not supposed to hold your best reflection right now, because it's not supposed to be about what's going on around you. Things are not going to feel like they're winning when you look outside at everything that's going on. Let's just get a couple cards here to see what's really happening. Wow. Great. I mean, that helps. So, like we said at the beginning here, in this resistance realm that you start off with in the week, you have this area where you're being expected to just be involved and to do what you're supposed to do with this involvement of this codependent situation, where you just need this from them and they just need this from you. And then you go forward and you have this evolution spot here where you recognize what isn't going to move forward and what is. And all that's supposed to move forward here is all happening on the inside. Like, you have evolution, and this is like leaving something behind to find something more, and that's all within yourself here. And it's, once again, not supposed to be something that shows up for your environment. It's not going to show up in your environment. You're going to find that on the inside this week. And then once again here, you have more of this involvement that comes back into play here, where this is where you got your time out, but then later on, you're back involved with this scenario again, or trying to make things in general make sense. And that's why this is air for you. It just doesn't make sense why things aren't just like flowing the right way as they usually do and falling into alignment. But you face the areas that you're wanting to be a certain way, and by the end of the week, you even disconnect from that person more. And it seems like that's where you try to reapply yourself back into your Empress mode, back into the areas of your life that you want to be more of that fertile mother within. Because once again, this is air. It's not going to feel right for Cancer. It's going to feel like something that you're having to shift and realign, and you're going to feel like things aren't grabbing on. I mean, that's what that Seven of Swords really is talking about, is that you're going to feel like you are trying to lay down cobble and nothing's really like sticking together. But that you also find a way to also completely separate yourself from any other people that might have expectations, and you start to care more about have opportunities to try to actually look at your outside environment to put yourself forward. But it's, once again, it's just things are not going to take root very well. Like, you're going to shift yourself back into a zone of like you're going to, I see some of you being like trying to like get back in connection with your spiritual mode, and you're not going to feel quite right because there's other people that haven't been taken care of yet, or that are keeping you from taking care of the people that you need to take care of, and that they are keeping you from being able to actually just step outside of the airy crap, and just focus on yourself. And at a certain point, you realize that they are false puppet masters. And that is when you let go of the scenario that they were supposed to be this type of person, where things were supposed to go this certain type of way with them, and that they were going to be your beautiful moon essence that Cancer wants to take up and have that beautiful reflection experience with that person. But no, not anymore. Or with these aspects, they're not supposed to hold on in the same way that they used to. And you reconnect with that identity of your Empress with this connection card of you reconnecting with what matters. What really matters then? I actually want to pull that from here. What matters? Because we have two reversals here. I want to see what you start to realize matters the most here towards the end of the week, rather than that Six of Wands. That victorious end of the battle sort of thing. Page of Wands and Eight of Pentacles, guys. That's great to hear. You come to a mode of realizing, like, you're supposed to be doing this independently. And I know that that's really annoying to have to, like, hear that again, probably, because I think that this year has widely been for the independent lessons for Cancer that you've been attempting to take through others and to indulge in with others, but this is all supposed to be independent this year, what you're supposed to be taking up and getting from everything. And you might not end the year with that new person that you thought you would. And I think that it's not supposed to be about that. And once you can let go of who you're supposed to be with and who you're supposed to share things with, and see that your Empress experience, your fertility that you're going to be finding growing around you is not going to grow if you keep looking at what other individuals are supposed and their gardens that you need to be tending to. How does Cancer rise above all of this here? Pulling a few cards here from the She-Wolf Tarot by Serpent Fire. Any other cards and their names are in the description box below. Wow. Wow. Interesting. I think you were really wanting for things to be a certain way with this person or this storyline that you thought was supposed to go a certain way. And if you can step out of the fiery, sparkly fantasy path that you thought was aligned with the scenario that you thought was at hand because you thought you really got it, that you knew what was going on, as soon as you can just stop like trying to feel like you can see what that path looks like and accept that things are just going to not really like make sense and combine and like create unity and then bring forward sense so that you know how to further support the situation better, that's not what's supposed to be happening right now, but that you're supposed to just kind of, because we have that Chariot card in reverse and this is the Ace of Swords. Oh, I'm sorry, I looked at that wrong. It's the Ace of Swords in reverse, but it doesn't change anything. In this case, it's not the fiery, sparkly path. It's just that concept that was supposed to happen a certain way, but that you are really just supposed to be right now caring about walking down that path that you know is your own and just continuing to work the soil and cater to the fields that keeps you yourself and keeps you independent and is bringing you in your money. Honestly, just whatever keeps you rolling. And it's not going to feel like Chariot. It's not going to feel like something that just takes off quite yet. It's going to rather feel like something that's old, that has been going this way for a while, but like to not just assume that that's not fresh any longer, so therefore it's not supposed to be your own. And that the Four of Wands here is really telling you, the reversal of this is saying that right now what's divinely occurring is that your roots of what you care about, your home, how it works in your home, the people in your home, everybody outside of yourself is supposed to feel unbalanced right now. This is not a time for you to be able to be looking at things and say like, oh cool, I get what's going on and I know what that's going to bring me later, and then how I should be involved with everybody, and that like that we're going to work well together because of that. Other people have things going on right now that like are really not your own. And all this is supposed to be for yourself right now is to confine yourself within the areas that you know keep you stable, keep you rolling, so that you don't accidentally get to that area with Cancer energy of feeling like everything got like pierced straight into your heart. Things are going to try to make you think that you're going to get pierced in the heart. And the best thing that you can possibly do is already know that that's what the lesson is supposed to be. Be ready for when somebody's attempting to make you feel like you failed, or the circumstances might fall apart, or they're feeling like you're not really supplying right. On some level, the world's going to try to make you think that you failed, but that's not what this is about. This is a time for you to really... I want to just pull a card before I say anything, because we end with the Three of Swords there, and I look at the confinement that woman is in, and it honestly feels really productive to me. That she figures out that the world is going to be going through some shit, so she's just going to get under her protection, and she's going to wait it out and focus on herself. Surrender, divine support, enlightenment, prosperity, childlike expression, sustenance, beginnings. I know that was a lot, but like it would suck if I like put them all back and you didn't get to see what all of that was. Surrender to what's going on here. Know that there's a better storyline that's really trying to get shifted in right now. Deepen into that higher priestess mode that you're able to get in contact through this week and tap into a whole new level of yourself. Enjoy the areas of your life that are working well, because I think that there are some aspects along with that Knight of Pentacles that's here and this opportunity for the childlike expression with the sustenance. We definitely have areas where you can find enjoyment through any type of disgruntlement that might come forward, and that you're going to see some changes towards the end of the week coming forward. What else do they have? Since we pulled some of those for right here, I want to see after this Three of Swords the potentials of what you can end this week with, what you might be receiving. Fool card, sweet. And then the King of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you guys, there is a person or an entity of what you're dealing around that you're going to be finding yourself needing to let go of, at least within your inner self, of knowing like what you thought it was supposed to hold. Because you're going to have some enjoyable aspects within the end of the week of things that are going to show you where your power resides. And I see a lot of power being pulled from the independent side of things at the end of the week here. Transformation for this week, you guys. That Enlightenment card is not lying. This is all for the inner experience, and you're going to notice if you don't miss it, if you don't look away and try to focus at the chariot, the reverse chariot that's everywhere else, you're gonna miss the opportunities that you're gonna have as you can go inward and focus on yourself this week of what this experience is really trying to tell you, and then you're gonna hit that gemstone and realize what you really care about, and it's gonna give you a fuel to fight on. Parrot spirit, watch your words. Mouse spirit, tend to the small things. Once again, pulling you out of the external and at your involvement with others and bringing you inward. And what do your angels want to say? Big happy changes. Heck yeah, you guys. I really do sense that there was some false pretense about what you thought was supposed to be your new beginning, and you have no idea what that really is going to be. Being yourself is sacred. Let yourself deepen into that sacredity this week. Really look at yourself as a new person. That's what that makes me think of too with the Curiosity card. Yes, you can. Awesome. So yeah, the energies are going to seem like you're not supposed to just be fruitful, but the point is that it's supposed to make you feel that way for a moment, because that was not what you were supposed to feel fruitful about. And that this is about you turning a new leaf, feeling curious about a different perspective, and realizing the areas that you really can, rather than letting yourself be involved with a storyline that didn't allow you to be yourself. So recognize where you're not identifying, or where your storyline is not identifying with your true self. I hope that really helps you guys this week. I love you, Cancer. I hope that you have a wonderful divine experience. Please give this a like if you enjoyed it, and hit that notification button so that you can see the next video that's coming up, to see everything that's coming within that next week for you guys. Thank you so much. I love you. Have a wonderful week.